Another day is here, and you're ready for it. What to wear? Check. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner? Check. Planning for what's next and how to save for it? That's where Bank of America can help. For your financial to-dos, Bank of America has experts ready to help get you closer to your goals. Get started at one of our local financial centers or 24/7 in our mobile banking app. Find a location near you at bankofamerica.com/talktous. What would you like the power to do? Mobile banking requires downloading the app and is only available for select devices. Message and data rates may apply. Bank of America N.A., member FDIC.
When you need mealtime inspiration, it's worth shopping Kroger, where you'll find over 30,000 mouth-watering choices that excite your inner foodie. And no matter what tasty choice you make, you'll enjoy our everyday low prices, plus extra ways to save, like digital coupons worth over $600 each week. You can also save up to $1 off per gallon at the pump with fuel points. More savings and more inspiring flavors make shopping Kroger worth it every time. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Fuel restrictions apply.
There's a lot that could impress you about the all-new Honda Prologue EV. True, it's got class-leading passenger space and clean, thoughtful design and intuitive technology. But what really sets the Prologue apart from the competition is that it's more than an EV. It's a Honda. Honda, the power of dreams. Visit honda.com/prologue to learn more.
Thanks for choosing this free Anfield Index podcast. If you'd prefer to listen to this or any of our other shows without adverts, then now's the time to check out Anfield Index Pro. With AI Pro, you can supercharge your entire listening experience. You'll not only get all of our podcasts without the ads, but you'll have them far faster with our Quick Publish feature available exclusively for subscribers. AI Pro also puts you in the heart of our sound studio, with an option to listen to many of our shows live and interact with the podcasters in real time as the shows are recording. Upgrading couldn't be easier. AI Pro is available on all popular podcast platforms. Just head on over to AnfieldIndexPro.com and get started today.
Hello, welcome to Daily Red, your lunchtime catch-up on all things Liverpool FC on a Friday, where there's absolutely nothing happening. But we have one new rumour. And that is coming from Foot Mercato, I believe. So it could well be nonsense. But this rumour is that we are interested in Mathys Angely, a 17-year-old centre-back, French underage international, played 5 times last season in League 2 for Bordeaux. And you might be aware that Bordeaux are losing their professional status. They have declared bankruptcy. They are releasing every player currently under contract. And you're probably aware that FSG recently tried to buy Bordeaux. And as I've just seen, I think it's Turkey Fish on Twitter say, we were leaving with something. We might not be leaving with the club, but when FSG went to negotiate, they were leaving with something. It would be high-level scumbaggery for us to nab this kid, who is very, very highly regarded. Very, very highly regarded as a 6'3" ball-playing centre-back. But listen, the game's the game, so if we can get him, absolutely. Not many times you get the opportunity to sign a young centre-back of that calibre for nothing. So, yeah, we should absolutely be all in on that. Other than that, there's not a whole lot of news. David Lynch has caused people to once again start fondling themselves over Anthony Gordon by talking about him on a podcast. It's a weird thing with Gordon, though, because everybody seems certain that his contract is up in 2026. There is zero reporting to suggest that his contract is up in 2026. Like, none at all. I went through every single article from when he signed for Newcastle, both from national press and local Newcastle press, and not one of them said his contract was until 2026. Not one. Every single one of them said long-term contract. So I went and I looked at the reporting when they signed the likes of Botman and Gemerish and all of that, and all of them said long-term contract as well. And then there's subsequent reporting on Botman, Isak, Gemerish, and a few others that have been signed by this regime. And every one of them was a minimum of a 5-year contract, with the only exception under this ownership being Kieran Trippier, who was a 3.5-year deal. But obviously, Kieran Trippier was quite old when they signed him, so it would have made sense to sign him to a shorter deal. It wouldn't have made any sense for them at all to sign Anthony Gordon to a 3.5-year contract. So I would imagine it's more likely his contract is 2027 or 2028 and not 2026. We'll have to wait and see. But like I say, there's absolutely no reporting. The only source of this is Transfer Market, which is not a reliable source. Anybody can become a contributor on Transfer Market. Literally anybody. It's basically like Wikipedia, but not as well sourced. And you don't have to prove your work. So I wouldn't put too much stock into the idea that he's out of contract in 2026. I also wouldn't put too much stock into the statement, it's one Liverpool might revisit, given they didn't visit in the first place. Based on all the actual reporting that took place at the time, he was offered and we said no thanks. Now, his own belief might be that his agent has told him there's a move there, but there doesn't seem to have been. We'll see. I think it's highly unlikely Luis Diaz leaves Liverpool this summer. There's no links to him at the moment. The clubs that have been linked, Barcelona and PSG, seem to have both gone very cold on him. Barcelona clearly want Nico Williams. And if Barca can't get Nico Williams and came in for Diaz, surely the smart thing for us to do would be to go and buy Nico Williams, who's a significantly better player than Anthony Gordon and more suited to how Arnna Slot wants to play. Like, Gordon doesn't really fit how Arnna Slot uses his wingers. Arnna wants a ball-to-feet wide winger, not a high winger for transition, which is what Gordon is at Newcastle. You watch Newcastle play, he's very often the furthest man forward. That's never the case with Arna's wingers at Feyenoord, ever. His 9 does not drop off the way Isak does. Jimenez is a very well-rounded player, but he's not dropping off the way Isak does. It's also wide wingers, not tucked in wide forwards the way Eddie Howe uses his wingers. Like, Gordon plays basically as an inside left. He doesn't play as an outside left. Slot at Feyenoord was using Minta very, very wide, and then Paxiao almost as a secondary creative 10, playing narrow off the left. Now, you'd imagine Mo plays that narrow role off the left for us, and that the left winger holds the width. But again, it's a totally different role to what Gordon is playing with Newcastle in a 4-3-3. Arnott doesn't promote transition. In fact, he tries to limit transition. His team don't go long. Newcastle go long a lot, which is what suits Gordon, that first-time ball over the top. Arnna Slot's team doesn't do that. They played the least long balls in the Eredivisie last year. And there's a game in the Champions League last season where Mats Wiefer plays a ball over the top and Slot comes to the touchline and absolutely bollocks him for playing it over the top. Even though it went to Minta, it didn't lead to what Slot wanted it to lead to. And he bollocked Mats Wiefer. So, I don't know. I think he's a bad fit under this manager. I think too many people are caught up in still thinking we're going to play the way we did under Jurgen. And if you took the time to listen to Curtis Jones yesterday, he made it very clear. Arnna Slot's football is very, very different to what Liverpool have been playing. Very, very different. And if you just watch some of the training videos, you can see it in full practice. It's a massive departure from what Jurgen and Pep Linders were doing. Now, some people are getting on Curtis's back for some of the comments he made. He said he's never been happier. I mean, Curtis Jones came through our academy as a number 10 who could play wide, an attack-minded player, high technical level, and for the last couple of years was used as a workhorse in similar ways to obviously what happened with Dominic last year. I mean, we had Thiago Alcantara and we were using him like David Batty. So our midfielders were not being put in the best situations to get the very best out of them over the last few years. Curtis wants to play intricate, technical football. That's what he's referring to. And if he is having a dig at those who've departed, I wouldn't imagine it's at Jurgen, because Jurgen didn't take the training sessions. He would observe them, but he wasn't running them. Linders was. The tactical style of football we've played in recent years was a drastic departure from Jurgen Klopp football. Much more similar to what Pep and Linders was doing when he had his first failed spell as a manager. So if he is having a dig at anybody, I'd imagine it's more at him than at Jurgen, but I don't think he's actually having a dig at either of them. I think he's just saying this is how he wants to play football, and this is more enjoyable for him. And I'd imagine others as well. Not everybody. Certain players would have did thrive, obviously, in the transition-heavy Klopp football in the early days. Not many players thrived as much in the later iteration of it, but some still did. But I think any of the technical midfielders that we have will get a lot more enjoyment and perform to a higher level under Slot than under the Klopp-Linders tandem. I don't think Curtis should be criticised for giving open and honest answers. In fact, quite the opposite. I thought it was great to hear him say how much he's enjoying working under the new manager, how impressed he is with the new manager. I think that's fantastic to hear, because there are question marks over Arnna Slot. He is unproven. He's never worked outside the Eredivisie. Now, he did fantastic work with AZ Alkmaar and fantastic work with Feyenoord, but he is still unproven because the Premier League is a different animal altogether. But as I went through yesterday, it's not like post-Pep this league is going to be full of elite-level proven managers. There won't be one when Pep leaves. Everybody will be in a similar boat. There's a few with potential, and we went through those. But Arnna is right in that mix. Right in that mix. There's a few very good managers, but none are proven to be elite. This is not like a few years back when Klopp was there, Pep was there, Conte was there, Mourinho was there, and he was still something akin to the elite level Mourinho we'd seen, not the current version. You know, there's more, pretty much everybody now of the ones that you'd look at and say, you know, maybe they can become elite. They're all sort of where Pochettino was at that time when those four, Klopp, Pep, Conte and Mourinho, were the clear, you know, that's the big four of managers in the league. Mourinho was there more as a...
When you need mealtime inspiration, it's worth shopping Kroger, where you'll find over 30,000 mouth-watering choices that excite your inner foodie. And no matter what tasty choice you make, you'll enjoy our everyday low prices, plus extra ways to save, like digital coupons worth over $600 each week. You can also save up to $1 off per gallon at the pump with fuel points. More savings and more inspiring flavors make shopping Kroger worth it every time. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Fuel restrictions apply.
This episode is brought to you by Experian. Are you paying for subscriptions you don't use but can't find the time or energy to cancel them? Experian could cancel unwanted subscriptions for you, saving you an average of $270 per year and plenty of time. Download the Experian app. Results will vary. Not all subscriptions are eligible. Savings are not guaranteed. Paid membership with connected payment account required.
A milestone moment creates a beautiful memory for years to come. And now's the time to celebrate it with 35% off select pieces at Blue Nile. Blue Nile makes your most valuable moments sparkle with jewelry gifts of the highest quality offered at the best price. You'll also find expert guidance and the level of convenience you'd expect from the world's leading online jeweler. Right now, take advantage of 35% off select pieces at BlueNile.com. That's BlueNile.com. BlueNile.com.
A legacy thing, because he wasn't the same guy he'd been, but he was still a very good manager, and he still had some success at United, obviously. But Pochettino was this highly thought of up-and-coming manager. And everybody thought he's definitely going to join that next group. He's going to win major honours. And I know he's won the French league, but nobody would put him in that list of elite managers now. So the question is, can any of Arteta, Marasca, McKenna, Slot, Ange, Glasner, not at Palace, but if he moves on, maybe at Palace, can any of them, Herzliya maybe, can any of them take the jump to be the next Pep, the next Klopp, the next Conte? Or are they going to be the next Poch, where you sort of look at it and think, what went wrong? Where did the path diverge? Because it looked, for all intents and purposes, like Mauricio Pochettino was going to become a truly elite manager. And he never did. But hearing our players be so excited and so impressed with this new manager, I think that's something that we should be excited about. Arne obviously gave a press conference as well. And I think the only line that people should focus on is, we'll all be very surprised if there are not new signings. Signings with two S's, one at each end, suggesting multiple players to join. So that's very positive. Hughes had said August, a crescendo in August. So all of the tantrums and all of the cry-arsing was all for nothing, really. There's a piece on This Is Anfield about purpose and what he's had to say. There's a piece entitled This Is Arnna Slot's Liverpool Now, Time to Make His Own History, written by Tim Ellis. Liverpool versus Real Betis, Arnna Slot's first friendly. Everything you need to know. So obviously we are playing tonight. It is a 7:30 local kickoff, which is midnight if you live in the UK or in Ireland. Are you going to stay up late for it? I wasn't going to, but now after listening to Curtis, I kind of want to. Want to see what it looks like, at least in the early stage. This game is taking place in Pittsburgh at what I would always call Heinz Field, which I think is one of the more aesthetically pleasing stadiums in the United States. I think it's really, really cool the way it's open-ended at one end. Well, not open-ended, but it's got a lower stand behind one goal, and you can see out and see the bridge behind it. Looks very cool. Pittsburgh looks like a nice city. I'd imagine it's cold in the winter because it's in the north of the USA, but it really does look like a nice city. Let me know if Pittsburgh is nice. Someone get in touch with me and let me know if Pittsburgh is nice. It looks nice. That's all I know. I know there's sports teams and I know the city looks nice. What else have we got here? Is the match on TV? It will be broadcast on LFC TV and LFC TV Go. This is Anfield. Will have a live match day blog. Harry McMullen will be keeping us entertained. If he doesn't, let's make sure to give him some abuse. I don't know Harry, but I just think we should give everybody a bit more abuse. Andy Robertson will not be involved due to his injury from the Euros. So that's not ideal. Diogo Jota will not be involved, but has joined up with the squad. I think I saw a predicted team here somewhere. Likely lineup with 27 players available. Okay. John Achterberg has had more to say. Everton have just signed midfielder who claims he turned down Liverpool. This is Lindstrom, isn't it? Yeah, Jesper Lindstrom. Now, he claimed that he turned down Liverpool last summer after he'd signed for Napoli. He did, to be fair to him, have a lot of interest, and there were rumours linking him to us. But I'm not sure there was any real truth to him turning us down. He's also, by his own admission, a Liverpool fan. But now he gets to play for Everton, so enjoy that. Enjoy that. Right, let's see. What have we got? Right, possible 11. Yaros in goal. Interesting. I would assume we did play the first game against Preston. Is Queeveen maybe been held back a little bit because he might be leaving? Bradley, Kwanzaa, Vandenberg, and Tsimikas as the back four. That's the same back four, I think, that started against Preston, so that would make sense. Jones, Endo, and Szoboszlai. That's a strong midfield. That's a really strong midfield. And then Harvey and Carvalho in the wide areas with Mo as the 9. So I assume Dominic sort of buzzing around as that attacking midfielder. Mo as the 9, the two boys cutting in from wide. That's pretty strong. Pretty strong. Betis will have a decent enough team, so should be a decent game. And I'm just really curious to see what we look like playing this style of football. Liverpool confirm another transfer as goalkeeper heads to Sweden. So this is Fabian Mrozek. He is going out on loan to a club whose name I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce. It's a half-season loan with an option to extend. So hopefully that goes well. I think I saw Ben Boxic say he's currently working on a piece about that club. So that's one to keep an eye on anyway. What else do we have here? Arnna Slot's been ruled out of all the games. Or Arnna Slot. Andy Robertson's been ruled out of all the games on this tour, which isn't great. Anything else? Oh, Paul Gorst reported today, I think, that we are going to be hiring a specialist set-piece coach. Now, a fella on Twitter who says he knows his brother reckons Anthony Barry, who was a coach at Chelsea, has coached with the Irish national team. He's currently the assistant manager for Portugal, or one of the assistants for Portugal, I think. He's also worked at Bayern, I believe. Let me just have a look at that. He's from Liverpool originally. Let's see. I believe he was Tuchel's assistant for a good while. Yeah, he was at Wigan as an assistant, then went to Chelsea as an assistant. Worked with Ireland as part of Stephen Kenny's coaching staff. Then he was with Belgium and now with Portugal. So he's obviously connected to Roberto Martinez and obviously Thomas Tuchel as well, having worked at Bayern for a year. Okay, so apparently it could well be him. He's a defensive expert, apparently. He's meant to be a very good coach. And he's apparently got set-piece experience. So that could be really good. I know he's one of the more highly rated young English coaches. So if it's him, that's really, really good. And fair play to the fella who says he knows his brother. If that's right, then fair play. Really, really good. Anfield Watch, they've got a piece about Mrozic, piece about John Barnes. Liverpool have already got their very own Rodri regen. Oh, Jesus Christ. If he's talking about Besiktas now, look. Yeah, Jesus, what? Nonsense. Revealed the glaring striker problem that Liverpool can't afford to ignore any longer. Arnna Slot handed first big problem. I mean, Robertson been injured is not a big problem. He needs to be replaced anyway. Liverpool captain Van Dijk calls for more Alexander-Arnold consistency. We had that one yesterday. And there's actually nothing else. There's very little on that website the last couple of days. I know it's quiet, so it makes sense, but you know, we're trying to fill time here, lads. Barris Alper Yilmaz update. Pedro Neto preference and Tsimikas leaving. That's the lead piece. It's a transfer news piece on Liverpool.com. Arnna Slot told he can save Liverpool millions with Virgil van Dijk replacement. We'll have a look at this. I'm sure it's something silly. Curtis Jones threading thin line. Fuck off. Like utter nonsense. Didn't thread any line. Said what he felt, said what he thought. Let the boy be. If he wants to come out and say he didn't enjoy playing under Jurgen, let him say that. He didn't say anything of the sort, but if that's what he wants to say, let him say it. But getting so upset about things. Fella's gone. He's not coming back. It's over. Curtis Jones is still here. And if Curtis wants to say what he thinks, let him say what he thinks. Costa Tsimikas, yada yada. Oh, this is just nonsense. Yeah, it's nonsense. It's a piece written about Costa Tsimikas messing about. Virgil is approaching the twilight of his career. That's fucking brilliant. Just going to write the guy off. He's only 33, but sure, you know, he's only got a year or two left. The guy could play for 5 more years at a high level. Arnna Slot may not need to splash the cash, according to more from John Barnes. Jesus Christ. I mean, I don't know if John Barnes has watched Rodri or Virgil play recently, but the notion that Besiktas and Kwanzaa are them is Christ. I love John Barnes as a player. Not a big fan as a pundit. Liverpool centre-back Hunt, that's me talking about the centre-back options. There is a piece about how to watch tonight's game. On AnfieldIndex.com, this is why Liverpool's success hinges on key summer. Billy Hogan talking about the fact that for now there's no plans to extend the stadium. And then podcast-wise, there's that Pro Plus I did yesterday. And that's enough for me today. I'll see you tomorrow. I won't be here tomorrow. Dave Davis will be here tomorrow. Take care.
We hope you enjoyed listening to this Anfield Index show. Please be sure to subscribe to our channel so future podcasts find their way to your device automatically. There's nothing quite like fan engagement, and we'd love to know what you think of anything discussed on this show. The best way to get in touch is over on our free Discord community, where both podcasters and listeners debate the hottest LFC topics 24/7. Sign up free now at AnfieldIndex.com/Discord. You won't regret it. You can also follow us on Twitter at Anfield Index and find us on Facebook by searching for Anfield Index Oh, and before you go, we'd love it if you could leave us a 5-star review on your favourite podcast app. It only takes a couple of seconds, and it means the world to the people who create these free shows.
Sports Social Podcast Network.